Monday, you wanted to change your life. Tuesday, you couldn't even start. Sunday night, you were certain this time would be different. You built the routine. You planned the week. You bought the gear. You went to sleep, believing the hardest part was finally over. Then you woke up, and the fire was gone. Nothing happened. No crisis. No bad news. No obvious reason. It just feels like someone reached inside your chest and pulled out the battery. So you do what millions of people do. You reach for the easiest escape. You check your phone. One notification becomes one video. One video becomes 20 minutes. And then you call yourself lazy. You call yourself inconsistent. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. But what if that's the wrong diagnosis? What if you don't actually have a motivation problem? What if you've learned to make the beginning feel harder than the goal itself? Because once you understand what happens at the starting line, you'll start seeing this pattern everywhere. Think about Monday you and Tuesday you. Same brain, same goals, same intelligence. So why did Monday feel effortless, while Tuesday feels like dragging a body uphill? The usual answer is discipline. Push harder. Wake up earlier. Stop making excuses. Just do it. And sometimes, discipline matters, but it misses something important. Starting. Because when you look at a blank document, you don't always see one page. You see everything attached to that page. The decisions, the effort, the deadline, the uncertainty, the possibility that your work won't be good enough. Suddenly, write one page doesn't feel like one page anymore. It feels like the entrance to a tunnel with no visible exit. And that's when starting becomes expensive. Your brain is constantly weighing things like effort, uncertainty, expected reward, and what feels worth doing right now. It isn't a simple switch that says, goal good, do goal. And progress can change that calculation. Researchers found a fascinating example of this with loyalty cards. One group received a card that required 8 stamps. Another group received a card that required 10 stamps. But 2 stamps were already filled in. Both groups still had to make 8 actual visits. Same effort, same reward. But the people who felt like they had already started were much more likely to finish. 34% versus 19%. Same work, different starting point. That's the important part. Your brain doesn't experience, I'm starting. It can experience, I'm already moving. And that tiny psychological difference can change how difficult the next step feels. Now, think about what happens when you face a blank page. You open the document. The cursor blinks. 10 seconds pass. Then 20. You feel that strange restlessness. You don't want to admit you're uncomfortable, so you reach for your phone. Just one notification. That's what you tell yourself. Then the screen lights up, and suddenly, the pressure disappears. Your chest relaxes. The blank page is gone. For a moment, you feel better. And that's where the real trap begins. Because your brain just learned something. Not, work is important. Not, I should be more disciplined. It learned, when starting feels uncomfortable, escaping works. And every time you repeat that pattern, escape becomes easier to choose. The same thing happens at the gym. You sit in the parking lot. You know you should go inside. But checking your phone suddenly feels urgent. It happens with emails. You know exactly which message you need to send. Yet somehow, cleaning your desk becomes fascinating. It happens with studying. You don't necessarily hate studying. You hate looking at 5 chapters at once. It happens with creative work. You don't necessarily lack ideas. You freeze when the blank page asks you to turn an idea into something real. Different situations, same pattern. Discomfort, escape, relief. And after enough repetitions, something more dangerous happens. You stop describing the behavior. You start describing yourself. I'm just inconsistent. I've always been like this. You never finish anything. That's how a behavior can become an identity. Not overnight, through repetition. So don't start by trying to become more disciplined. Change the beginning. The first rule is simple. Kill the zero. When you finish working tonight, Don't create tomorrow's blank page. Leave the first sentence unfinished. Leave the document open to the exact section you'll continue. Put your gym shoes where you'll see them first thing in the morning. Put the book on your desk. Open to the page you'll read. You're not trying to finish tomorrow's task tonight. You're removing tomorrow's 0. Because starting from 1 feels different from starting from nothing. Second, make progress visible. Take 10 paper clips. Put them in 1 cup. Every 5 minutes of focused work, move 1 paperclip to the other cup. The paperclip isn't magic. The point is visibility. Don't ask your brain to imagine progress. Give it something it can see. 1 clip moved. 1 small victory. Then another. You're turning an invisible process into a visible one. Third, remove the decision gap. Never wake up and ask, "What should I do today?" That question creates another beginning. Decide the night before and make the first action ridiculously specific. Not, "Work on my business." Instead, open the document and write 3 sentences. Not, "Go to the gym." Instead, "Put on my shoes and walk through the door." You're not trying to win the entire day. You're trying to win the first 30 seconds. Because sometimes, the hardest part isn't doing the work. It's crossing the starting line. And once you cross it, momentum can take over where motivation failed. The goal was never to become a machine with unlimited willpower. Willpower matters, but relying on it for every beginning is a terrible system. The better goal is to become someone who understands friction. Someone who notices, "This feels difficult because I'm looking at the entire mountain," and then asks, "What is the smallest step I can take right now?" That's the shift. Stop asking, "Why don't I feel motivated?" Start asking, "How can I make starting easier?" You are not permanently lazy. You are not doomed to repeat the same Tuesday forever. And you don't need to wait for a completely different version of yourself to appear tomorrow morning. You can redesign the beginning. You can remove the friction. You can make the first step smaller. And you can stop turning a temporary behavior into a permanent identity. But there's a problem. What happens when you finally learn how to start? What happens when the excuses disappear? The work gets done, and you actually begin making progress. That's when another psychological battle can begin. Because your brain doesn't only resist starting. Sometimes, it resists becoming someone new. And that is where self-sabotage gets much more interesting. Because the same mind that protected you from discomfort can eventually start protecting the identity you're used to being. And once you understand that, you'll start seeing a completely different trap.